The floor to Ghana.
Thank you, Madam President. Let me begin by thanking the Special Coordinator for the Middle East Peace Process, Mr. Tor Wennesland, for his comprehensive briefing on the prevailing situation in the Middle East, including the Palestinian question, focusing on Israeli settlement activities. We are deeply concerned by reports that the period under review has seen a further deterioration of both humanitarian and security situation on the ground, and an increase in the number of Israeli settlement activities. We note with pain the fact that 2022 has been the deadliest year for the Palestinians in the West Bank since the United Nations started recording fatalities in 2005. And also that this has been the 6th consecutive year with an increase in the number of Israeli settler attacks in the occupied West Bank. Madam President, we express concern at the frequent raids and arbitrary arrests by Israeli Defense Forces in the occupied Palestinian territories and convey our condolences to the family of the 16-year-old Palestinian girl who was shot dead on the roof of her house during an IDF raid in the West Bank town of Jenin. We call for full investigations into the incident and reiterate our previous call on Israel to protect civilians, observe the principles of distinction and proportionality, and exercise maximum restraint in the use of force. We condemn in the strongest terms indiscriminate attacks on United Nations peacekeepers and all civilian personnel in the region who continue to work under harsh conditions to maintain peace, and convey once again our condolences to the government and family of the Irish peacekeeper who was killed in a 14 December attack against a convoy of UNIFIL near the town of Al-Bia in southern Lebanon. We wish the 3 others who were injured a speedy recovery. We also condemn all acts of terror and violence against civilians, as well as acts of provocation and incitement. We call for immediate steps to prevent violence, including acts of terror, against unarmed civilians, children, and the aged, and urge both parties to refrain from provocative actions, incitement, and inflammatory rhetoric. We call on the Israeli government not to continue with plans to expand or create new settlements, particularly in and around East Jerusalem, and not to proceed with the legalization of unauthorized settlements, including potential future measures that would support settlers and settlement activities in the West Bank, such as changing the law that currently prohibits settlers from living in the Homesh outposts. We do so mindful of the adverse impact of the settlement activities on the Middle East peace process. Madam President, while awaiting the formation of a new Israeli government, we underscore the need to prioritize a political horizon for the peaceful resolution of the conflict and urge the avoidance of unilateral steps that would undermine the viability of the two-state solution. We call on both sides to show maximum restraint and refrain from unilateral actions that could escalate tensions and prejudice the peace and mutual trust that are urgently needed to stabilize the situation and to reverse negative trends on the ground, and create the conditions for subsequent negotiations and for advancing the two-state solution. In conclusion, Madam President, I wish to underscore the need for cooperation and unified action among all member states. We reiterate our firm belief that lasting peace and an amicable solution to the prolonged conflict is only possible through direct talks between the Palestinians and Israelis without any preconditions. We therefore urge both parties to resolve all differences through dialogue and negotiations in a comprehensive and mutually acceptable manner. I thank you for your kind attention.